Hey, what's up? It's DJ. New and updated mods out now for Fortschritt A215. A total 30 mods were released today on the in-game mod up. All platforms got 14 new and 14 updates. PC Mac players got 1 new and 1 update. Nice and easy. Hey, if you like staying updated yourself with all the latest mods of Fortschritt, get subscribed and let's go. Starting off with new ones for all platforms, we have the Claas Lexion 500 series. This comes in 2 models. We have the 510, 560, and the 570 through 580. That is going to include horsepower as well as capacities. We'll kind of take a quick look at that. So our 510 here, 232 horsepower with a 6,300 liter capacity. We go up to the 520. That increases our horsepower and our capacity. Do it again. Do it again, do it again, do it again. You get the idea. We also have this guy right here, 570, 580. This is the one we're going to show off today. So with the 570, 580, 2 models here, we are going to bump it all the way up. One of the interesting things is with the 580, the horsepower goes down 25 horsepower, but the capacity stays the same. I don't know how that works, but there you go. Wheel brands from Trelleborg, BKT, Continental, Michelin, Midas, Vredestein, and Trelleborg. Now, the interesting thing is we go with the BKT. It also puts TerraTrack on the side because you can throw a crawler track on there. However, you could put those with all of them. So I think maybe they just kind of messed that up and forgot to put something where it should be. Straw chopper mod all around towards the back. We've got the old and the new cooler radiator cover. We got a couple of those on the side, on the other side. Chop blower, yes or no. Extra protection, yes or no. And then you've got your license plate. We also have 2 header trailers, one that does the 600 and the 750, and one that does all of them. Speaking of, yes, we have here. We have a 6-meter header. We have a laser sensor pilot, which is pretty cool, and the reel. We have big and small. So same options for all of these. And you're going to be able to buy them in 6 meter, 6.6, 7.5, and 9 meters. Wha-bam! Very cool. This combine's also got one of the best starting sounds that I've heard in a long time. How cool is that? Great job on this thing. I'm loving it. Next up, we've got the Big M450 fully automated, hopefully is what they mean by that. 449 horsepower with variable transmission, 780 fuel, 24 miles an hour, 14.7 tons, 10 meter spread at 15 miles an hour. All of that's the same as our base model. However, we can change up a few things. So we've got different wheel options to choose from, which is great. Fenders, we've got with or without the back fender. We also have with or without some decorations. And by decoration, I mean it's got some trash, it's got a secondary ladder. That's pretty neat. Then we have color. So if you change up main color, it goes with the chrome green, and I believe this is what the original looks like, or maybe that is, or maybe this is. I'm not quite sure which one it is. Anyway, you can change it up to whatever color you want. So if you want like a fully blacked out Mauer, you could do that. No rim colors for some reason. I don't know why that was not an option, but hey, here we are. Next up, the disc Cultivator KD4, 4.1 tons on here, 120 horsepower, 4 meters, 12 miles an hour. Configuration, we have the KD4. We can also do the mulcher, so you go back and forth between disc cultivator or mulcher. It's a disc harrow at the end of the day, so maybe translation, who knows. We also have wheel options, which is not a normal thing for cultivators, of Midas, Trelleborg, and back and forth between both of those. Stickers, we've got yes and no designs. We have a couple different design options here, so you can make this look kind of how you want. Main color, we do have a really nice blue, and we've got a bunch of blues. We got an old color palette, but they've done something we don't see a lot, and that's added the base game color palette to this as well. This is going to open this to hopefully a lot more players, so great job there. And then they've done exactly the same thing to the rim colors as well. They've got the color palette they wanted, plus they've added all the base game colors. Great job with this. Got another cultivator for you. This is the Lucid Frost 2.5, 75 horsepower required, 2.5 meter working with, 9 miles an hour. Wheel settings, we've got 1, 2. Stickers, we've got 1 and 2. And cultures, we've got 1 and 2. Feel like I'm at the eye doctor right now. Make color, hope you like blue. Design color, a little bit more open there. And then design number 2, I believe that's going to be our springs in the back. The bolts. Of course. Here's something that should look a little bit familiar, the Stara Prima 4590. This is from Agro, actually. Didn't expect to see a little seeder from them, but hey, here we are. We got a couple different things and included markers on there. We have two versions, so we have manual markers and automatic markers, which is kind of neat. If you want to go back and forth between those, you could do that. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot of difference. The manual markers has 50 liters less capacity for seed and fertilizer, so there's that. Plus, we have a transport hitch, which is very, very cool. I can't remember around to which side we've got the wheels. There you go. So with transport mode, make sure you do that, and that's how you're going to get that. Otherwise, you can just pull it behind you. Next up, we got a seeder for you. This is the Fortschritt A215. What a really neat machine. I've always been a big fan of Fortschritt machines anyway, so this one just kind of adds to it. It's going to be seed only, all your normal crops for seed, 1,050 liters of it, 90 horsepower, 9-meter worker width, and 9 miles an hour. So this might be one of the best and most efficient ways to get into big scale seeding to start off with. Wheel options, we have a treaded tire and a standard tire. A rim color for the seeder, we could change those up. And then we have a main color of the machine itself, the design color of the machine, and then the front rims. Super cool. I'll be honest with you, I mean, I'm a big fanboy. There's that. But I love this. This is such a cool machine. That's not all, because we also have the Fortschritt RS09. I should have moved this to the front, but it's, well, I thought it was under the front loader category. Nonetheless, how cool is this? 18 horsepower with a manual transmission, 12 miles an hour, 1.5 tons. Wheel options, we've got front weights on the rear or front weights on the back, or wheel weights on the back, then wheel weights all around, and rear duals. Yeah, we're going with that. Cabin, yes or no? What is that? What is that mess right there? That's so cool. We also have a base frame, which can be changed from all the base game colors, and rim colors, which can be changed up to all of those. I'm definitely getting one of those. Then we have connection. So we have the front loader portion of this, which is super duper cool. And then we've got a universal bucket, another bucket, manure fork. We have a front kind of piece that goes in there. Yep, there you go. Capacity of 1,600 liters. It's a tipper. Why can't I remember the word tipper? We also have a mower, which could be attached on there. And we have weight, which can be up to 100 kgs, which might be a little bit heavy for the machine itself. It's a little bit wild and crazy. Let's go with this. Let's go with the capacity. And let's go with red. That'll do for me. Let's jump in and look at this thing right here. Oh, it does not steer the best. It's not terrible. Man, where's the engine? I guess the engine's right under the driver, isn't it? Woo! That'll be a very exciting drive for sure. Check this bad boy out. We are currently stuck in first gear. And I don't know, is it going to let us out of first gear? This may be one of those that you have to use gears with it. I've turned off my gear shift because I was always hitting it by accident. Yeah, that is not getting out of first. So you are going to have to make sure that you set this up and actually use gears with it. Yikes. Next, we have the John Deere CF pack from Dense Mining. These go along with their combine harvesters. I think they wanted to get these out with them, but it was just a little bit later. You could choose the attacher for the X Series or the S Series. We even have turn signals, which is not a normal thing. Main color, we've got kind of a John Deere metallic green and plastic green. And then you can change up the design, which is the tips. We have a 9-meter version. We also have a 12-meter version as well. Next up, we got the Krampe BigBody 750S. On here, we have a 37,500 liter capacity. We start off with that Krampe branding on the side that you guys have seen before. That is the Michelin Agritechnica Special. We can also bump that to the standard red if you would like, but who wants to do that? I will say this, if you go away from that, you get an extra capacity as well as main and design color. You don't get those if you just stick with the Michelin. So let's swip it around and pop it there. Wheel brands, Michelin, of course, Trelleborg, BKT, Vredestein, and back. And we can do a standard and wide tire drawbar. We have the chrome drawbar or a regular one. Steering axle, we have hydraulic or forced steering. I kind of would prefer to go with the hydraulic through there, but forced steering's a little bit more anticipatable, if you will. Equipment, we have standard, ladder, platform, both. Capacity, you can do that extension up to 37.5 or down to 20,000. And then in your main color, we could do the red, green, black, or white. And design color, we could change these up as well. And I don't know what those change because nothing's changing. Why is nothing changing? I don't know. And then we have a license plate. There you go. Next is the Valtra front loader attachments. In here, we've got a couple different buckets, 900 and 1500 liters. We have a pallet fork. We have an open sweeper, which is super neat. 3-point hitch adapter for a front loader? Are you kidding me? I love it. We also have a weight, I believe, in 1200 and 1400 kgs. And back end, we'll take a look here. So you could do attacher type of Valtra. We also have front loader. Then we have this version as well. Of course, you can change up the colors if you want to. So many things that you can do with these. Pallet forks, Valtra front loader again. Same thing there. Open sweeper. Same thing here. 3-point adapter, which I find super duper cool. Just throw that on the front loader. How did I do that? I love that so much. And then a weight. Who needs to put a weight on the front loader? I don't know. Maybe you got something on the back. This would be great for it. It's not often that we get Pigstys, but we've got one today, the medium modern Pigsty. They say this has been inspired by a real life one. 90 little baby piggies. We can come in here, take a look at this. Perfect little spot in the area and nice and easy. We can also open up pretty much all the doors, which makes this a really neat and great building to use for role play, things like that. We got our light switches everywhere. It's fairly easy to get in and out. I don't know what else to tell you. As far as food, 15,000 liters, slurries 60,000 liters, and straws 15,000 liters. Jumping over to new maps for all platforms, we have Ladyhill from FS Landscaping. We talked a little bit about this in Farm Sim News, but it has been a while. But the map is out. It's based on a real location in County Antrim, Northern Ireland, just north of Loch Neagh. Neagh? And just assume that's how it's pronounced. Map is mostly Royal Irish farming, not with much of the way of factories or productions, but it does have 2 large buildable areas to make your own if you want to do that. That way you can, well, still play Farming Simulator. It's got 8 small farms and 4 small farm areas, which can all be purchased, sold, and bought again without the need to sell any placeables because everything is bought with farmland, which is great. Awesome line of code through there. There's also a cattle pasture mod, which can be placed in any field, yard, and removed again without disturbing or reshaping the land. Holds 200 and is free, which is good for cattle rotation roleplay. How neat is that? We did not know anything about that. That's so cool, man. Taking a look at what we get to do farmer mode. We have everything kind of smack dab here, bottom left of the map, or bottom left middle. 40, I mean, there's all kinds of, let's see, we got grass fields through there. We got, I believe, what's barley fields there. Some cattle areas. There's cattle pasture number 1, cattle pasture number 1, sheep pasture there. We've got our main farmland here. We also have another field over here, which I'm not quite sure what that is. Grass, probably grass. Then we got more fields over here, more barley and everything like that. If we could poke around over to the main farm right here. I'm an idiot, aren't I? That is not where am I? Oh, I'm down here. Why am I down here? We have equipment down here too. Man, it's just everywhere, ain't it? Here you go. This is our main farmland. We own a bunch of stuff in new farmer mode, so just be ready because you got a lot going on. Field prices are also fantastic. Outside of the map costs $0. Good job there. And then all the little fields, most of them are going to cost you around 100,000 or a little bit less, which is great news. There's also a nice quarry up here around 180. Let's be honest, it's kind of hard to miss this. So up here, we've got a place where you can dig out rocks and or stone rather. It's all piled up in different areas, so you can get your excavators down here and have some fun. We also have a riding area. We saw this as well. So you can come through here, get a I don't know, anything, a dirt bike, 4-wheeler, maybe a UTV or something like that, and go through and just have a little bit of fun through the woods. It is a pretty cool little setup. They've done a lot of testing with it, so it should be nice and smooth for most machines. I don't know, it's just a really neat Northern Irish map with a lot of different stuff to do. Great job. There's also 2 required mods, but we'll show this off here in a second. As far as owned items, we have the Bureau 6150 as well as the Massey Ferguson 3S. Now, as far as I can tell, That's not a required mod. At least I wasn't showing it as a required mod. However, it will be there if you own it, I guess. I don't really know. We also have a couple other things through here as well. We have the John Deere 7810, the John Deere 4040, which is part of the John Deere 40 series, also not a required mod. And then we have the 4040 here as well with another different setup. We've also got a couple other things here, including a John Deere 1175, which is a DLC, but not a required mod. And then the John Deere 770, telehandlers base game, cars base game, tipper, header, well, one of the headers is base game. We got some Anderson stuff, K-Brand and Lizard, animal transport, front loader from the Massey Small Classics, and then we've got a few tools. And there you go. Here are your required mods. Next, we've got Agro Azores. This captures the stunning essence of Azores archipelago, and it is all over the place. Look at these mountains. We got trees on the side of them. All the way down here, we've got waterways. Oh my goodness. This is an absolutely insane setup for a map. Super challenging when it comes to farming, but a lot of fun and some really interesting bits and bobs here and there. They've done a really good job of making sure that farming can still be done, that you've got some really neat areas here. Some big drop-offs, if I say so myself. It's just a really neat setup for a map. It's super interesting, and I've never seen anything quite like this. I think there's an Alps map, maybe a French Alps map, that has kind of got an idea of a verticality to it, but nothing like this. We also have some animals on here as well, quite a few different ones. That's very cool. It just feels real, man. It feels lived in. It's awesome. Here's your PDA right here. You see we only have one area of land. We've got a grass field, and we've got our main farm. So there's not really a whole lot going on here. As for everything else around, doesn't look like we've got any new crops or anything like that. Same with the last map. There are no required mods for this map specifically, so there is that. Here's your growth calendar, and taking a look at what we get in new farmer mode. You have the Claas and a Massey Ferguson small tractors, Claas Carrot, which will be interesting to be pulled, but the Arian 660 should be able to handle it. Small plow, we have a nice para harrow, a seeder, we have a planter as well, small slurry spreader, tedder, windrow, baler with a wrapper on it, and we've got something for making TMR for the cattle. Enough to get started with small time farming, but you will need to buy a few things to really progress on this map. Lastly, we have the map Harlingen. This is based off of, I believe, a real life area. It's two different communities kind of pushed together, they say, because of its special location. This has got most sunny days average throughout the year. Almost 500 inhabitants are around this area, and you can actually see all of their houses, which is really neat. I think that's kind of cool. There's a bunch of forestry on here, so if you like forestry, this is not a bad place to go. And then we've also got a bunch of other fields around. Here's your PDA, so you can kind of get a sense of what to expect and what to see here. No new crops or anything like that, so don't be expecting anything like that. We have 2 courtyards, BGA, 2 apple orchards, 2 sharp willows, 85 fields, including 5 fields with grapes. Field sizes from 0.01 hectares all the way up to 12 hectares, 6 productions, and 2 forestry areas. So you've got that. There are quite a few required mods for this, so heads up through there. If we pop down, here's your growth calendar. They said we had some productions. We kind of poke around, see if we've got anything that we can see or find. Washed stuff. Not really seeing anything. No, we got some stuff. Melons and fruit yogurt and stuff like that. Lettuce red. You got a couple little things down through there. As far as our owned items, we've got a Valtra as well as a Landini tractor. You've got an old pickup truck, a tipper, stuff for doing vineyard work, small plow, cultivator, seeder, fertilizer spreader, a front mower, tedder, windrower, small baler, baby baler. We also have a feed mixer and a tanker. We've got a front loader bucket. Is that what it's called? Yes, bucket indeed. I'm having a bunch of brain farts today. And a weight. And if you're looking for them, here you go. Here are all of your required mods. Jumping over to updates for all platforms, we have the John Deere 8R South America. Now this is interesting because it's still showing as version 1.0. However, it's got over 100 votes on the mod hub, so That tells me this is a re-release. Secondly, we have the Rottne F20D version 112, missing shop options reactivated. Capello Helianthus 5700 version 1001, helper fixed. Jacto Tellus 10,000 version 1001, fixed a bug where the fill would rise above the cover. Madara Agro RNT series version 101, added dynamic suspension. However, there's a more recent update, version 102, fixed some errors and fixed sliding. I think they need to fix which update it is first. Next up, Namyslo Marracell pack. Marracell, there you go, 2.5. New! They've added a new Maxi 420H, the 4.2 model, and added the possibility of painting the shafts to each version. Self-marketing 2.0 version 2.2, they got you there. As there were many wishes from the community, they tried to implement all of them as best as possible. The vending machine now takes also oil, chocolate, and honey. Selling houses now take all the same products, but just the big ones sell clothes and fabric. All selling prices have been doubled, so that's really cool. The selling prices at the vending machines have been trebled. Trebled? I think they mean tripled. The old just selling versions are now back, so you can find them under selling stations while the new ones are under productions. Warehouse pack version 1001, false info trigger collision bit removed and missing indoor areas added. Next up, we've got another confusing one. Seems like a lot of modders forgot to update the changelogs. Thuringian Farm Set version 1101. But that's not the most recent version. 1102 is the most recent version. False collision bits removed, missing tip collision statics fixed, and false tip collision mask fix. And we have 5 map updates. First is Westerwald version 1.1. New save game is required for this. The Gluckshof? I feel like I'm gonna get demonetized for saying that word out loud. Converted into a dairy farm with biomass plant. New starting yard has also been there, and new starting fields for a fresh starting experience. It's probably one of the big reasons for needing a new save. They've added the Claas Dominator 108 SL Maxi and a new color scheme. Cow pasture has been optimized. Cows should now hopefully stay in the pasture. It's small visual corrections and adjustments. Secondly, the White Farm version 1.1. New save game is required for this as well. Construction menu, plant and tree selection has been expanded. Small corrections in the map design and files cleaned up for better performance. Gnadenthal Crossplay version 1.1. Reduce the amount of custom crops to hopefully fix console crashing. Swather pickup and pickup header mods are no longer mandatory. Swathing now gives the correct 20% yield increase, added more paintable foliage, fixed various crop effects when harvesting, mowing, etc., added the missing workshop trigger near the vehicle shop, added the position of some collectibles, and adjusted the price of some farmlands. Next up, we got Oberschwaben version 1001, and I'm not going to read this changelog out. I have tried to read this out like 6 times now. It's so confusing. There's so many words. They've copy and pasted half the stuff on here. It's really frustrating to get through this. If you want to pause the video and just go through it, please feel free. But Yogi, if you're going to be doing changelogs like this, hit me up so I can help you put this into like proper English and put things in nice categories. This is confusing, dude. Last update for all platforms is somewhere in Lower Bavaria version 1003, a very easy to understand changelog. Added decorative trees to decoration for console players, added more trees in the tree menu, and driving silos at the mountain farm, and you can see the modifiers beside those. Your only new mod for PC and Mac players today is wood storage. This is a small timber store in which logs can be stored. It also requires production revamp, which is why you're seeing it here. Lastly, today we have one update for PC and Mac players. Production Info Hud version 151 fixed Lua with GEA automat because of missing feed spot. Can we split some of those words up, please? And that is it. Thank you for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you did. Get subscribed if you're new and join the DjGoHam fam. We are now at 300,000 subscribers on the channel, and you are one of them. Thank you so much for being with me and hanging out with me for the past 6.5 years of dealing with my insanity. We got way more to come, so stick with it. Hey, hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.